Well, I'll be going live here. Well, I'm already live, I should say, but I'm going to be going and talking about a subject, and that's past customers and why they're a gold mine. But I'll wait for some few people to come in here. I'm going to open up the chat. Chat will be open. You can come in, say some pleasantries if you like. But after I'm done with this little monologue talking about how to work past clients, I'll go ahead and open up to AMA. Ask me anything, and we can cover some different subjects. I figured I'd go a little early. I'm generally 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, but we're kind of snowed in. Everybody else is snowed in on the East Coast, all the way down to Florida and Texas. It's ridiculous. I can't believe how much snow we're getting. So that being the case, I said, you know what? I'll come on here a little bit early and see who's in there. So come on in. I usually wait about 2 minutes to get started, a little bit over that, and we'll get going with it. But we started off with a good, strong year. But I tell you what, uh, slowed down last couple of days or so because we're having, quite a cold front coming through the whole East Coast, really the whole country. I've heard people in Texas, Panama City even got some snow. How ridiculous is that? If somebody doesn't mind, come in and let me know how the video and the audio is. I'd appreciate it. Make sure it's working properly. This is my third one of this year. Like I said, every Wednesday I'll be having a live podcast. It'll generally be at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to check on in and bring your questions. Maybe you can stump me. I haven't been stumped yet, but hey, first time for everything. So bring them on. But you figure I've owned TruckMountForums for almost 20 years. It's got over 2 million posts on it. We've got tmfshop.net, which is the highest rated, supplier in the world. And we use I think we have over 7,000 5-star reviews now. And we use an independent review company, which is the only supplier. We're the only supplier in the world that uses an independent review company. So that way we can't control any of the reviews, but we can control them by just giving high quality work. Then we've got the Truck Mount Forums, Carpet Cleaning Professionals on Facebook, a private group. I think that has around 25,000 members. That moves quick. And you can get inside there. You got a question, get anything that pops up. It's just iron sharpens iron. Everybody who comes in there is generally the higher quality or the higher aspiring cleaners in the industry. And that's really important. So you have that resource. And then we've got a couple of others for like Butler and then other types of machines. Then we've got a TMF buy, sell, and page, buy, sell, and trade page. We've also got a carpet cleaning buy, sell, and trade page. And I think one of them's got, the TMF one's got about, I don't know, close to 20,000 people, and the other one's got close to 40,000 members on it. And then we've got like 100,000 that come to the forum itself, but the forum's not as busy anymore because Facebook and other venues are kind of getting taking over the market. However, things are cyclical and it's starting to move back the other direction. So more people are starting to use the forum again. So it's kind of nice to have that variety. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm very reachable. If you've ever got a problem, you got a question, you can reach out to me, reach out to my team. We can answer any question that you have. Pablo, how you doing, my friend? What's the weather like there in Pablo, in your area? How you doing, Corey? Nice to have you. Appreciate it. In about 10 more seconds, I'll get started with a monologue, and after that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. If you could let me know, Corey or Pablo here already, if you'd let me know how my sound is, I'd appreciate it. I might pop over to on my phone and take a look at it myself and hear myself. Let's see. Sounds pretty good. I can hear it. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about a gold mine, and that's working your past clients. And I cannot express enough the importance of working past clients. And when I took my travels in my RV for about 2 years around the country meeting with cleaners, I was surprised how many cleaners don't work what I call their gold mine. And, I remember, man, it's been a good 20 years or so ago. I remember a very successful business owner coming to me and he told me, he said, Rob, do you work your gold mine? And I said, what do you mean my gold mine? He said, your past clients. I said, well, I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. I mean, I just do really good work and come back to me and say, no, you have to work those past clients. You have to build that relationship and then continue the relationship. Imagine if you're dating or you're married and you only just go off the first impression. No, you have to stay in touch with that person, and you have to continue to build that relationship. So that's what I'm going to do right now is just give you 10 quick ways to stay in touch with your clients and make a huge difference. And you'll find that you'll not only make more money in the short run, but you'll definitely make a lot more money in the long run. And during those slow times, it'll keep your business rocking. All right. I'd like to say, oh, Pablo had 8 inches of snow. Aren't you in Florida or Panama City or something? Don't quote me on that. Let me know. Appreciate that, Pablo. All right, let's talk about the first thing you can do to stay in touch with those customers. I'd say number one is check in with the client regularly. And how can you do that? Well, hey, hopefully you collected their emails through your CRM. If you have an email, or you can even call people, that makes a huge difference. I remember my brother Keith was slow. He would just say, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna get on the phone," and he just get on the phone. He just start calling people. And sure enough, man, he started filling that, schedule in no time. So just by calling people, remind them, oh yeah, I've been meaning to call you, Keith. Mm. So see, people would probably have their carpets cleaned more often, have their tile and grout cleaned more often. And also you can mention that you might have some diverse services. So those things go a long ways. And I highly recommend. That's what I thought. I thought you were in Florida in the panhandle. That's insane, man. You guys got 8 inches. We got 3 inches here in Virginia. So, so by these regular check-ins by email or by phone calls, it helps you maintain that relationship and keeps your business top of mind. Top of mind is very important because if you're not top of mind, somebody else might be, and you don't want that. All right. So I kind of hinted right there about the second one. That's a CRM management tool. We use House Call Pro, and I'll put a link in here, and you just do a free demo with them. And through that customer management tool, you can keep track of your client. You can keep track of your interactions, all the dates that you did work for them, all their preferences, all the notes, even pictures. This helps you have a personalized communication with your customer and understand their needs. You can even remember their pet's name, put all that in there. See a picture of the home. It just brings everything back to mind if you're going to be emailing them or you're going to be calling them or when they call you. On top of it, what I really like about um, the House Call Pro is that's very proactive is number one is it drips back postcards. So it's constantly dripping back postcards. I think we do it every 90 days. So we're staying in touch with the client. Kind of like you might notice how we're kind of top of mind and staying in touch with our clients through our TMF, right? And we're almost everywhere you go practically. And then the second thing is text blast. Text blasts are awesome. Tell you what, that will get your schedule filled up fast. So you can, through the House Call Pro, you can use your credit card at it, collect credit cards at a discounted rate. It has inside of there your GPS. It has you can look on there and see how your estimates are, what your totals are for the year. It's just such a good management tool. I can't overemphasize, and it's a very easy layout to learn and to use. So right on the fly, you can add an appointment, you can change appointment, you can look at add pictures inside there. You can have private notes, you can have public notes for the customer. You can send back to them. It sends them a receipt. Everything's paperless, and I love being paperless. So I can't overemphasize having a CRM management tool to help you work that customer gold mine. I'm telling you what, it's probably the number one thing. Okay. Another thing some people do is they'll have some events. They might have, in the summertime or in the fall, springtime, they might have something maybe at your local event places, such as like we have the Hampton Coliseum here in Virginia. We have a convention center, and they'll have their spring, whatever. I forgot what you call some of those events, but they'll have their spring events, and you can go down and set up your truck, set up a booth. A lot of guys even have booths. So here they are. They're top of mind. People get to see their truck. They get to see them uniformed. They get to see what kind of people they're doing business with. Man, that's strong. So events really go a long ways. And what that does is it builds integrity and also provides a way to network. So any chance you can get to network at any type of events you can get to, I highly recommend it. So look for your schedules at your local convention centers and see what fits you, and if it fits you, I mean, listen, you can probably make just about anything work if it's crowded enough. People love going there. I mean, we go to the RV trade shows, right? And here locally, and it's packed to the gills. So you could just set up and just about anything that complements what you do. And let's face it, we clean the inside of RVs, and people who have RVs generally have some decent money, don't they? Goes a long way. So keep those events in mind. All right. And then the next point I would say is free services. I was thinking about that. What can you do for free? And I know you're probably thinking in your mind, oh, wow, I really don't want to do anything free. But there is a couple of things that you can do. Number one is you can go ahead and offer some complimentary services, especially if you know somebody who is poor, somebody who has, a particular illness, maybe cancer or something like that. That's what we've done. We've offered complimentary services for people who have cancer in the past. And that just goes a long ways to demonstrate what type of integrity that you have. And that word spreads, even though you're not trying to pat yourself on the back. And I try not to let my, right hand know what my left hand's doing. I try to, not mention those things, but I want you to understand that you can use those to help work your customer base while also doing a very nice deed for the community and feeling good about yourself. And, your creator sees that also on top of it. All right, and you can also do some consulting. If you know somebody's trying to start up any type of business or something like that, maybe give them a hand. I've done that. I've seen guys who are trying. I might be talking to somebody, maybe at a coffee shop or something, and say, "Yeah, I really want to start a business." I said, "Well, tell me about it. What kind of business trying to start?" Well, really, if you can start your own business and you're successful at it, more than likely you could do the same thing for somebody else, right? So you can. They don't even generally even know the basics. They don't teach you in school how to go up and get a business license, where to find your equipment, how to write a business plan, how to sell, how to have a CRM, all those things right there. It's easier than they think it is, but if they've never done it, it just feels pretty challenging to them. So if you can offer them that free type of consultation, that goes a long ways, and that builds a lot of value. And you didn't even have to really put anything out except your time and your energy to people. All right, so that's free services. All right, let's see. And another thing you can do is personalized gifts. And what I mean by personalized gift is we like to offer some swag. A lot of times we'll throw in a little, maybe a keychain, a lanyard, some hand sanitizer, all types of little type. Sometimes we even throw inside of a TMF hoodie or something like that every once in a while, just randomly. So we'll throw in these swag items to really make an impact on the client. And you could do the same thing with people. With our cleaning company, I know my wife has a little package that has like a little spot remover on it. It's got a nail file with our name. It's got a business card in there. It's got a pen with our name on it. So little things like that are very thoughtful, and they go a long way. So just don't underestimate how a small gesture like that can strengthen your bond with the client and remind them of your services, because they might be using your pen, you might be using your the nail file. All those things go a long ways. Okay, the next one is something that we excel at and everybody should be excelling at, and that's social media engagement. You should be trying to engage with your customer, your past clients on social media as much as possible. You want to share your valuable content and get them added to it, because think about it. They might not know that you do shower cleaning, that you do tile cleaning, or that you do stone polishing, or that you do hardwood floors, or that you do LVT or LVP, So, and you can even tag some clients if you want to help build that relationship. But what social media enables you to do is to keep your brand visibility top of mind again, and it also promotes interaction. So, and as it gets busier and busier, you're going to have a stream of clients come in there, and you can see that people who are more active online with their social media by making videos and stuff like that, they're really the ones whose businesses and the amount of business coming to them is coming to them a whole lot easier and a whole lot less expensive than some other companies. So you almost kind of put it on, you almost kind of put it on cruise control once you've got enough videos out there, like on YouTube or something like that, because what it does, you have to remember YouTube is perpetual advertisement. It stays there all the time and continues to generate and generate and generate. I think I've got close to 1,000 videos on YouTube, and then I've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All those things make a huge difference. And that type of engagement and sharing valuable content. I want to really express sharing valuable content, how important that is. I see a lot of influencers, they're just like, oh, look at me, look how I got the carpets pretty and stuff like that. Well, that's not what I've ever tried to do. I've always made sure that I've tried to relay some type of way that somebody else could grow their business, or improve their business, because that's what really makes the biggest difference. I feel like I always say this, the law of reciprocity. If I help you become successful, you help me become successful. I'm living proof of it. We've been very successful because we go out of our way to stay in touch with people on social media by answering questions, by making videos, by making, we feel like the best chemistry in the market. And those type of things just go a long way. So don't underestimate social media engagement. Okay. Somebody's asking me how many customers are on my list, if you don't mind. When you say list, are you talking about my TMF, my back away, or my carpet cleaner? I think my carpet cleaner has around 10,000, if I'm not mistaken, my carpet cleaning company. But I've been in business for 40 years. So that means a lot. Okay, the next thing that maybe somebody like, I really don't want to mention his name, but there's some people in our industry who are, I guess they consider themselves gurus, or other people consider them gurus, and that's fine. But they're heavy into referral programs. They'll leave a referral card with the customer, and there's nothing wrong with that. And they'll encourage them sometimes by offering some type of incentive or some type of a reward, or half off of cleaning, or a percentage off of cleaning, or something like that, or one free clean for ever so many cleans that they do, or however many cleans they get somebody else to do. So, everything you can offer to the client to help engage them and help them find a reason to do business with you and to share your business, because you want to turn them into cheerleaders. Referral programs are an excellent way to do it. And it's very easy to do. You can just jump on the forum, jump on YouTube, and look up referral programs, and that'll help you quite a bit right there. Okay. All right. And the next thing I would say is feedback surveys. Now, what are feedback surveys? Feedback surveys are where you're soliciting feedback basically from the client to help understand the experience. So you want to know how well you were received by the client, whether it's how you were perceived, I should say your employees generally, and how happy they were with it, so you could address any issues, because no business is perfect, right? And there's nothing wrong with humbly asking the client, look, how can I improve? I think we have over 1,100 5-star reviews with our local cleaning company, which is a great number. We're really happy with that. And we probably have I think we have a 4.9 average over 1,100 reviews. So that goes a long ways, but there's still, being a 4.9 goes to show there's some room for improvement. And as I always say, basically, if you think about it, the biggest room in my house is the room for improvement. So you want to be humble. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to the customer and getting that feedback. You can do it with a card, you can do it with a phone call, you can do it with an email. But do those feedback surveys, and that'll help you, maintain that gold mine. Okay, again, we got a couple more left. And the next one I would say is a consultative approach. And what do I mean by that? This is by focusing on or understanding the business needs, or offering solutions rather than just selling services. So, if the customer's got a pet issue or something like that, well, maybe leave them a bottle behind with your name on it and stuff like that. We have Unchained bottles of spotter that you can leave behind with the customer, that's already pre-diluted and ready to go, and it does a great job. And so if you'll consult with them and say, listen, I notice you're having right here, this is what you can do. This is what I did basically to help potty train my dog. I went online to, I think it was IAM's dog food, and they had like 10 videos of how to train your dog. And they worked out wonderfully. I'm gonna tell you what, my dog's just amazing how they did after just taking those 10 videos. So if you can think of some way, keep your eyes open and stay focused and try to find a way to help that client. It goes a long ways, a really long ways. What does it do? The consultative approach just builds trust and loyalty. So all these things, notice as they're coming together, is building a foundation so you can work that gold mine of your past customers. Like I said, we got about 10,000 customers in our carpet cleaning database. So by working them, all it does is helps us to be more profitable and helps our relationships improve. Okay, the last one would be follow up after projects or follow up after your work. That's really important. So, after you've done completed the work, follow up with their satisfaction. Sometimes we'll randomly make phone calls. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll inspect the jobs that are being done right when they're finishing up. So, look, hey, when you're loading up, give me a call and I'll come on out there and I'll take a look at it. So, because remember, you don't expect what you don't inspect. So you have to inspect everything, because if you don't, employees sometimes take the path of least resistance. So make sure you take the time to follow up with the client, follow up after the work. And the more detailed the work, the more you want to follow up. We just did a home recently. We just put up a video on YouTube, and it's basically showing a home where they had a very oily lab. And I'm telling you what, it was yellow lab, and I can't tell you how much oil was on that carpet. In the downstairs room, I was concerned, being it was Berber and had so much oil, that it may wick inside that room. So I'd say, you know what, I'm going to follow back up with the client. So I followed back up with them, and they actually had a code. They give me a code to their home. That's how well we're liked with this lawyer. I went back out to the house, and it was a little bit. So I went ahead, you know what, this gave me an opportunity to put down some super cap. I put down a little bit of super cap, went over top of it with an OP machine, oscillating pad machine, and amazing. It just looked amazing afterwards. It just popped. And the guy was so happy about it. So I followed up on it. I realized there might be a problem with that house. It was, it was so oily and it was so bad. I had a feeling that one downstairs room just might be a problem. It was just a little bit of a problem, but I also know what encapsulation can do after following up on hot water extraction. It can really make a light color just pop. And that's what it did. It made it pop. Just amazing what it did for me. So really pleased with it. So there you have it. Those are the strategies that I've used to work my gold mine. And what is my gold mine? That's my past clients. And you should be doing the same things. And so this video will be here on YouTube, and it'll be under the live section. Feel free to refer back to it. And I'm also going to move it over into the video section, maybe just edit it just a wee bit. But these strategies will just help you grow your relationships. And relationships, what it's all about. You're trying to build cheerleaders. You want customers out there talking about you and using you on a regular basis. Just building that strong relationship with those past clients. This keeps them considering your services rather than going somewhere else. They have tons of options out there. They're being flooded by all types of ads. So why should they go with you over somebody else for their future needs? You better stay top of mind. You better work that customer list. You better build that relationship so that they'll stay with you and not go elsewhere. That's what it's all about. You're trying to build lifetime cheerleaders. Makes the biggest difference of all. So I hope you enjoyed those 10 strategies for working your past customers. It just really goes a long ways. And I can't express enough how important it is to work those past clients. I call them a gold mine. Somebody told me that 20 years ago. It stuck with me to this day, and I work them consistently. I keep that in mind. And consistency is what it's all about. All right, here we go. I'm going to go through some of the comments over here. Let's see. I think I answered that question, Chuck, about how many customers are on my list. I'll let you know that. How are you currently reaching out to your newest customers on Vacaway's customer list you just purchased? I really haven't thought about it much, Chuck. We just had to really take the time, and I spent a lot of time learning chemistry. I've learned more about chemistry, even though I've been a cleaner for 40 years or so. I spent a lot of time over the last, I've learned more in the last year about chemistry than I knew the whole other 39 years. So being around chemists, you really pick up a lot. And so I really just wanted to make sure that we had, that our manufacturing was up to par, up to speed, keeping up with everything, and that we had everything down pat. So I would say probably come this springtime, I'll work more on working my customer list for back away. Probably what I'll do. I do feel like, and Steve, the former owner, taught me how to compare other products and other brands. And so we picked up a lot of other brands, compared them. He said, I promise you, mine are better. And Backaway's always had a great reputation. And I would tell you what, I'm amazed at how well and how thorough, and the performance and the crystallization of the products. It's just a huge difference. And it just goes to show, when you can make your own products instead of subbing them out to another company, like there's some other companies out there and other influencers who are having their products made by somebody else. I see that they're ordering their products, lower quality products, a lot of times, lower quality ingredients, more fillers and stuff like that. I have full control over my product. So I can determine what raw materials go in there, what solvents, what crystallizers, the quality of all those products, the quantity. And that makes a huge difference, because at the end of the day, we need results. We need products that not only clean, but keep carpets clean as long as possible, because our whole reputation, our whole business, and our whole legacy rest on it. So it makes a huge difference. All right, here we go. Hey, Rob, aloha from Hawaii. I bet the weather's nice there. Our East Coast, man, been suffering quite a bit. We've had some rough weather over here. Okay. Well, 3 inches of snow might not be too bad for some people in Virginia Beach area, but it's been in the 20s and 30s each day. And that's very unusual. It's generally in the 40s and 50s for us in the wintertime. So very unusual. All right. Regarding finding new techs and employees, do you use a certain platform like Indeed or ZipRecruiter? Do you like to find experienced techs or train from scratch? Those are good questions. Let's break that down a little bit, Rex. I would say I used to use those programs, Indeed and stuff like that, but now I've changed up my strategy, and I realized that if I come across a good person and I feel like they're a good fit for my company. For instance, if I go to a grocery store, if I go out to a restaurant, if I'm just out and about in the public and I meet somebody, keep a card on me, and I'll let them know, hey, if you ever want a career, let me know. Here's my card. Just give me a call. And I want to tell you what, I have gotten some amazing employees by doing that. Just amazing employees. Because you know what? Good people know good people. So, I'll give you for instance. I was at the grocery store not too far from my home here, and I went in there, and there was a young kid in there. When I say young kid, I mean he's probably early 20s. And I asked him something. He said, "Well, I'm not sure if we had that or not." I could just tell he had just a positive attitude. He said, "Well, tell you what, let me go back and I'll check it for you if you don't mind waiting." I said, "Sure." So as he was leaving, I was thinking to myself, and this is the first time I'd ever done it practically, just really with that approach. I was thinking, you know what, man, this guy would be a great fit for my company. I would really love to have him here at TMF. I could just tell. And so he comes back, and I get talking with him and stuff like that. He really went out of his way to really help me out. And I said, "Look, here's my name, here's my phone number. I've been in business for such and such time. I have a supply company. I really think you'd be a good fit, and really love to have you work for me if you feel like you like a career in the future. Here's my card. Just think about it." Right? Well, I'd say about 2 weeks to 3 weeks later, I get a phone call. Guess what? It's him. He wanted to come by. He come by. I met him. He went to work for me. He's a great worker. His brother came to work for me, and like 3 or 4, maybe 5 of his friends come to work for me. And I will tell you what, we have built a fantastic team around that person. And I can't express how important it is to have maybe that card on hand with your name and phone number, on it, or say, "Look, when you're looking for a career, give me a call," and just pass it out to people. That's just a huge PMOT, positive moment of truth. And there's a lot of people looking to better their careers. They just don't know where they need. Because let's face it, success has been defined as the progressive realization of a goal. But sometimes you need a vehicle to get to that goal. So I feel like I can offer people the vehicle to get to their goal if I can just get them on board. So, like I said, help them be successful to help you become successful. Next question. Do you find you like experienced technicians or trained from scratch? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because I would say my two top techs right now, believe it or not, came from the yellow truck company, steamer company. We won't say their first name. We won't say their full names, but they came from them. And, they were employees who worked for them who really felt like they just weren't delivering the full quality of the whole process. So when they came looking for a job from me, they were looking to improve not only the amount of money they can make, but they wanted to improve the amount of things they could do in the process rather than just going in, and just put in have a spot remover in your pocket and just run detergent through your wand, and just basically hit it and get it and run on down the road to the next customer. Because that type of company model, sometimes they'll do 5, 7, 8 jobs in a day. That's just craziness. Where we do 3 jobs a day, take our time and do high quality. So I would say that for some reason, off of those companies have worked out good. But then on the other hand, I found that they're a little bit younger too, and they're a little hungrier. So I think that worked out good for me. Though one of them's been with me now for 25 years or so, and the other one close to a decade. So I really try to treat my employees good, so they'll stick around. And I care for the employee. I'm trying to help them build a career with my company because turnover is a killer. Turnover is a huge killer. Now I will say, since I developed my online courses, and it used to take me 6 months to get a new person and bring them up to par. Right? Now I can do it within less than 6 weeks. So that's a huge time saving of that learning curve. So those online courses that I have, I run them through the courses, and those guys are ready to go, and they're jumping out there and they're doing high quality work almost immediately after they've done work with one of my other technicians for 2, 4, 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. But generally 6 weeks is where we'll put somebody out on the road, and they're getting 5-star reviews. They're getting nice tips too. So that goes to show the feedback I'm getting, it does work. So I would say two of my employees, recent employees, they didn't have any experience. Two of my older employees, they had a lot of experience. And then you have me and a couple other guys who just been doing it for a long time, even my son too. But for the most part, we only go out and clean maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year now, because TruckMountForums has grown so much. We're in over 16 countries right now. So it's just amazing the growth that we've had. And we're very appreciative, and we thank everybody. All right. Richard Mander says that's a great idea. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that a lot. Now, I'm always trying to add value, just like you're trying to add value to your clients. Customers will pay more for your services if you can show them the value. I mean, people used to buy, probably still do buy, $2,000 Kirby vacuum cleaners, right? Now, how do you go in there and you sell a $2,000 vacuum cleaner? Well, you don't tell them the price. You build the value. You show them all the features, and you build that value of something that's going to last them for a long time. So you're going in there and you're trying to make their furnishings last for a long time. So if you can build the value and show them you can do a deeper clean, a healthier clean, a better environment for your kids and your pets and yourself, those type of things are building value. So you continue to build that value, you can hold the higher dollar on it. All right. Let's see. Do you prefer subs or employees? Well, you have to be careful with subs. You know, in my travels, when I traveled around the country for a couple of years, I keep referring back to that. That was a very enjoyable time. Wife and I got to see a lot of things, and we plan on doing it again, hope, God willing. But as we traveled around the country, I noticed that some people, when they're running subs, where they called them subs, but they weren't really truly subs. And the problem is that these subcontractors are supposed to be using their own tools, their own van, their own equipment. Yeah, these guys were calling them subcontractors, and they were providing the van. They were providing the chemicals. They were providing the tools and the equipment. That doesn't fly. That can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So if you end up subbing the work out, then you have the danger of them taking your accounts. I mean, I do have a couple of strategic alliances I built with other people, but for the most part, people get hungry. They're going to eat. So I'd be very careful when it comes to subs. Now, one thing I do sub out now is I sub out all my repairs. I built up a good reputation. And now there's a couple of companies in the area who have offered to do repairs for me, but they also do carpet cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, stone polishing, and things of that nature. So I don't refer out to them. I've got a guy who is an exclusive carpet repair person, and he's amazing. He's like an artist. And I can send him to any type of home, any type of situation. Boom, he gets it done. It's just amazing what this guy can pull off. And customers rave about him. So, you know, that is a strategic relationship. And I've probably been in that strategic relationship with him for at least 20 years. 20 years. So I've never had a reason to send my employees or myself to learn carpet repairs. But it just goes to show he's a true sub. He's using his own truck. He's using his own equipment, and that's a true sub. And he's got his own insurance. And so I keep a record of all that. I want their business license. I want their insurance. I document everything. So that way, if there ever becomes a problem, you can prove that this person was a true subcontractor, because last thing you want to do is have to pay the taxes on what you paid him also. And that can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So make sure they're a true sub. So sum it all up. Do I prefer subs or employees? I would say I prefer employees 99% of the time, unless it's a service that is a unique service that I don't offer, that I'll sub out to somebody. Teach your employees, train your employees, continue to train your employees. I'm constantly training and retraining my employees, trying to work with them and sending them out to courses. If I don't know how to do something, if it's more in depth, or if there's a rug cleaning course, for instance, I'll send my techs out to do those courses. Even though I do basic rug cleaning, but they can go somewhere else and learn more about carpet ID, rug ID, rug construction, those type of things. I'll send them out there. And they basically already know how to clean, but employees is my number one way of employing employees. All right. Richard Manor said that's a good idea. Well, let's see if there's any more questions. If there's not, I'm going to go eat some dinner. Pablo is in the, where did he say it was? I thought aren't you in Panama City, Pablo? I thought somewhere right around Panama City. But he said he got like 8 inches of snow, Panama City, Florida, in the Panhandle. That's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Can't imagine. When's the last time you guys even had snow? And to have that much, the whole United States right now, at least a good portion of it, is in a deep freeze. It's kind of unusual. We've had some really strange weather the last few years. I'm not saying I believe in climate change. Actually, I believe in climate change. Climate changes all the time, right? But I don't believe in it the way other people believe in it. I really just believe that these are natural occurrences that are taking place with the weather. There's always going to be ups and downs and climate changing. So remember, back in the past, they used to say, well, it's global warming or it's global cooling. Global warming, that fell apart, right? That didn't work for them. Then they had global cooling. That didn't work for them. And then now they have climate change, which kind of encompasses everything. So it's kind of ridiculous how they do it. So I'm not a fan of that. I just feel like that we're on there's just some natural cycles of the weather. All right, so I think that concludes everything. Right at the mark there to get finished. Let me just scroll back to the questions. If there's any more questions, if you have any questions, feel free to ask it right now. But remember, this will be on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you get a chance. You can go over there and you can watch this, and it brings out the top 10 strategies for working your past customers. And so increasing your volume of your business, that goes a long ways. Adam V, good job, Rob. Love using your 99% green products. Thanks. I appreciate that, pal. Appreciate that a lot, Adam. Thank you. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get alerts and like a video like this when it pops up each week at 8 p.m. The only reason I did it earlier this week is because all the snow we had and stuff like that. And I feel like everybody's kind of at home, but generally it's 8 p.m. every Wednesday. Tune in. If you got some questions, bring them up. I'll be sharing some type of business building idea every week to help you out. Okay. Okay, Ray. I'll do that. I'll do that, Ray. Go ahead and resubscribe. I'll unblock you there, Ray. I did. But listen, all I ask people to do is when they come in is just be respectful. If you're respectful, I'll be respectful. All right. But don't be surprised if you don't get the reaction that you want out of me when you aren't respectful. That just goes for anybody across the board. I want to understand when you are managing a forum, because we have the forum with over like 100,000 cleaners on TMF. And then we have the TMF Facebook page with like 24,000 members. And then we've got the two buy and sell trade pages with like 50,000 members. That's a lot of different personalities you have to deal with. And every day people are just throwing things at me. And it gets frustrating. So please try to stay on your P's and Q's. Appreciate the amount of hard work that we put into it. And we'll make it so we'll help you grow your business and have a great relationship. All right. Well, I'm Rob Allen with TruckMount Forums. Remember, if you have any questions, bring them every week, Wednesday at 8 p.m., or you can go to the forum, or you can go to the Facebook groups, or you can even ask it on YouTube. All right, everyone. Have yourself a great night. Take care.